Mr. Rob, we are back for season 2 of DFS Rebels.
That's
Um,
right. That's right. Got
so
to,
let
we
me,
figure we're gonna do the Thursday night grind while we're playing a little Madden.
yeah,
As
exactly. Week
as soon as
1
Dante
Thursday
hits
night
ready.
preview to, and give you guys a little bit of an insight through Madden. This way you could kind of take a look at the teams, rosters, skill position players, and all that good stuff.
But we were gonna do this yesterday, but it's a good thing we didn't. Now with the Kelsey news coming out, uh, I personally don't think he'll be playing. I don't think they're gonna risk him getting more injured. It's only a week one matchup, and it's against a non-divisional opponent, so I don't see him, uh, uh, Andy Reid and them risking him getting more injured. What do
That's
you
a
think on that?
that's a good point. But I think they still will play him at least for limited time, only because they still have a lot of unproven weapons on the team.
There's a lot of unproven weapons. I know with the news of Kelsey getting out, there's a lot of people talking about Sky Moore, Sky Moore, Sky Moore. I am completely off that just because when you have somebody like Kelsey on the field who gets the defense's attention, gets their eyes, gets double teamed, it allows somebody like Sky Moore with his great footwork and speed and route running to get open. Um, Now, without somebody like Kelsey on the field, I think he's not going to be as amazing as he could be. He does not have the best hands. He is short. So I'm not really looking Sky Moore's way. I would look today is Tony Way if he stays on the field. That's always the big if for him. If he can stay on the field, I really like him. With him not on the field, I'm actually looking towards somebody like MVS. What's your thoughts on those matchups or potential plays?
So I could see why people are on and off about Sky Moore, but entering this season, even before way back in training camp and everything, Patrick Mahomes came out and publicly said that he expects two guys to step up this season, and those two guys are Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. And what better way to prove themselves in an early season contest, week 1, when Kelsey might see limited action or maybe no action at all. So I feel like, especially if Kelsey is ruled out, I feel like it's going to be Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney's time to shine. And if Kadarius Toney went hurt, because obviously I'm not a fan of him after the way he left my Giants, but I am all over both of them if Kelsey doesn't play tomorrow night, or excuse me, Thursday night.
I can say like I said, I was on MVS, and I really like his matchup against Jerry Jacobs, who's honestly not that good. I think MVS is a proven enough receiver. I think he could beat somebody like Jerry Jacobs, and that's why I like him. I think he's going to be slightly less owned than some of the receivers. But let's talk about how to start the build before anything. So my build is I'm gonna find a really low priced guy. And right now, I know everyone's talking about Laporta, and I love Laporta, but this is game one, and he's a rookie tight end. I'm actually gonna be looking more Brock White's way. He's been there. He knows the script. Um, Nobody's looking at him, and on his minimal press on FanDuel, he's only $600 on DraftKings. If you put him into a flex position, you can afford to put Mahomes into the captain spot, which is always a fantastic thing to do. Um, and then you could do with somebody for 600, you can get Mahomes in the captain and M.R. St. Brown and Jared Goff in your lineup, and then get some receivers instead. And I think that's a fantastic way to get different. My only issue with it is, with Kelsey out, how much does that lower Mahomes? Does it lower him enough where he should not be in the captain spot?
My opinion, no. And the reason why I say no, because it's still Patrick Mahomes. He's still the best quarterback in the league. And yeah, he doesn't have the number one weapon, but you know he's still going to throw the ball. There's no way you're going to see the Chiefs go run heavy on Thursday night. It's just not happening.
This is true.
And the Lions' defense, yes, it's improved over the offseason, but hasn't improved that much to the point where Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, or Mahomes and Reed, will be scared to call passing plays, even with Kelsey potentially out of the lineup. So for me, if Kelsey doesn't play, it still doesn't hinder Mahomes' value enough to where you probably should fade him. Because especially if you want a quarterback in the lineup, Mahomes is more than likely outscoring Jared Goff, even if the Lions pull through with a victory.
Solid, solid. I know that's your boy, Amon St. Brown. He's going to steal the field a lot. He will be seeing a lot of Snead. Are you afraid of that matchup, or do you think you can handle that matchup kind of well?
Well, Snead is a good cornerback, but he's not like a Sauce Gardner or Pat Surtain. He's not gonna completely take Amon-Ra out of the lineup, and I expect big things out of Amon-Ra because obviously Jameson Williams will not be playing because of suspension, and the Lions also lost some other pass catchers over the offseason this past year, such as who's the one that went to the Jaguars? Oh, no, excuse me, not Jaguars. Chark. That. I don't know why it took me a little bit to think of him. DJ Chark, he went to the Panthers, but yeah, so losing him, you lost Jamal Williams. You got a lot of unproven rookies now, like Laporta, as your starting tight end. You got Jahmyr Gibbs and everything. So obviously those guys should make day one impacts too. But that leads me to believe that Amon-Ra St. Brown will get off to a very hot start this season and probably will have a great year all around, but especially have a great first couple of weeks until Jameson Williams does return from suspension.
Now, are you locking him in? Is he potential captain for you, or
I
is he
believe
just a flex spot?
I'll go as far as saying that he's a potential captain, and I'll even go as far as saying that he's probably the only other captain I might start other than Mahomes.
Okay. I kind of actually like Goff as captain over Mahomes because I believe it's going to be a negative game script. They're going to be playing from behind, um, which means Goff is going to be throwing the ball a lot more, and it makes me like him a lot more. Um,
That was a good try. That really was a
it
good
was a
try.
good try. It really was. It was kind of funny though. But what you see that I'm doing to Dante is what most teams do want to do against the Chiefs. You want to run the ball. They don't have the best run defense, and you want to milk the clock because you want to keep Mahomes off the field for as long as possible. Um,
That's actually a really good point. And maybe we
so
should
yeah,
be
with
all
that,
over the Lions running backs, such
but which
as
one? That's the next question.
that's a really hard decision. I would say Gibbs, but I don't know for sure. But
I
either
think
way,
Montgomery's going to be the touchdown monster. I think he's going to steal all the touchdowns.
yeah, he might get into that Jamal Williams like role. Actually, is a good point. But I honestly think maybe depending on how much the Lions run and play, you could probably get away with both. And because, as you said, the Chiefs' run defense is weak to begin with. And remember, Chris Jones is not playing Thursday night. That's not happening unless all of a sudden he gets his new contract.
This is true. This is true, and I love your point. You can play both, and I think that's going to make you a lot different from the rest of the field. Whatever, if you're playing in GPP, I don't think everyone will be playing Gibbs and Montgomery together. So that's definitely a good way to get different, especially using a high-owned captain like a Mahomes or an Amar St. Brown, Jared Goff. Um, so I like that. Are you with Kelsey out and a lot of these like little receivers? Are you open to playing both um, Chiefs running backs in the same lineup? Pacheco, McKinnon. I mean, CEH is there too, but I'm not really looking at him as much. Maybe in deeper GPP.
I, yeah, no, I personally, if I do start a Chiefs running back, it's only going to be Pacheco. McKinnon only had maybe like 3, 4 fantasy relevant weeks, in my opinion, last season. Even with Clyde Edwards-Helaire being out for the second half of the season last year. and Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's coming off of injury, and right now the Chiefs are not very high on him. So if I were to start a Chiefs running back, it's going to be Pacheco, and honestly, that might not be a bad start since Kelsey's status is looking like it's going to be doubtful.
Now, this is going to be a kind of crazy one, but if you're going for the big $1 million, you want to do something like you play Pacheco, McKinnon, Gibbs, and Montgomery in the same lineup. No one else is doing that. Nobody else is doing that. You just have to decide like on who's going to put in captain. Can you afford like? You can even put a kicker up there if you want money. Kickers always sometimes are potentially a good captain. But you see, you just there using Kelsey right now. I don't think he's playing. Do you think? I think it's gonna be Gray, right? Gray's gonna be in. Do you think Gray can
Yeah,
do it?
if Kelsey is out, which more than likely probably will be the case, but it's not definite yet. But should Kelsey be out, then Gray should be that guy that slides into that role.
You're gonna use him.
I would say yes, because even with Kelsey being healthy last year, yeah, Gray wasn't anything, relevant enough for fantasy consistently, but he still had a couple of nice big plays. And that's with Kelsey playing. And now, what better opportunity to prove himself with Kelsey potentially being out?
This is true.
So Gray might be a sneaky option. It's like, for me, I mean, I don't know about MVS enough to where how much, relevance he might see in the Chiefs offense. I'm sure he'll be good. He's going to be a big play guy like he was with the Packers. But for me, especially if Kelsey doesn't play, the only pass catches on the Chiefs I'm going to trust, or I would consider putting in a lineup, are Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and Gray. And that's because, in my opinion, those are the three biggest guys that have the most to prove if Kelsey doesn't see, that Kelsey is not in the lineup.
So wait, you're not looking at Rice at all.
Not really, no, because he's at least a fourth receiver in a depth chart, in my opinion.
And
I
how do you
feel
feel about
like
somebody like Justin Rose, who's getting a lot of hype? He was injured last season. He's coming back now. He has a lot to prove. Is he worth a shot in some GPPs?
so. He's always worth a shot. He's always worth a look, and the Chiefs, especially, are one of the best teams on spreading the ball to all their wide receivers. But I just don't see them making an impact right away. If there were going to be any wide receivers on the Chiefs making an impact week one, it would probably be the two guys like you mentioned, Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, since Mahomes came out and said that he expects those two guys specifically to make that next step up this season.
Yep. All right, so I know you love the sportsbook. You're a big sportsbook guy. Are you taking the money line or the spread on this game?
I'm leaning more towards the spread with the Kelsey news because now there's not so much of a clear favorite.
Okay.
I don't know though. I'd have to think about that one. Usually I make my decisions like last minute, like right before kickoff and stuff. But I'm leaning more towards the spread now. If Kelsey was healthy, I'd be like money line all the way. But
Yep. I got you.
Good play.
And thank you. Okay, right now we're doing a 2-pick parlay. Right now, you have to pick 2 people to score a touchdown. Pick those 2 people, and you put $100 on it.
On my Ross St. Brown, Kadarius Toney.
Okay. That's the 2. I'll put $100 in it, and I can blame you if it doesn't hit. But yeah, I'm
And
definitely
you can thank
going.
me when it does hit.
I'm actually gonna take. I think the last time I looked at the spread was plus 5.5. Lions. I will actually take that with Kelsey out. I will take that. I am looking at a David Montgomery, and an Amon St. Brown touchdown.
That was a terrible
Um,
kickoff return.
so that's what I'm looking at. But for DFS purposes, um, I was really high on Mahomes at captain. High owned or not, because if I use Brock White as my GPP play and my cheap play, you can fit so much more in. Without Kelsey, I don't think Mahomes will be like he's still gonna be great. He's still Mahomes. I just don't think he's gonna be as good. So I kind of will. I'm gonna move over to Jared Goff with White and Amar St. Brown. That's 3, and then I'd have to really figure out which one of those receivers, or if I want to use the running backs from the Chiefs, to bring it back. But I think Brock White alone will make me different enough in the field where if it hits, I will take home a lot of money. Obviously, that's a GPP play only, not cash. The showdowns are very dangerous to play. You can think you have the nuts, and then you end up with no money because the kicker will end up with like 20 points. If you don't choose the kicker, even the defense, if the defense scores a touchdown, that's like a lot of points. Like what's that, 6 points right off there, plus any points they didn't give up. You have to make multiple lineups, but I'm not someone who wants to spend a lot of money on multiple lineups. I'm probably gonna have 2 lineups in the million, and then I'm mostly gonna be targeting the single entry or the 3 max entry tournaments for this particular match. I think I'm gonna go. It's gonna be very even. 3 players.
Oof.
3 players from each team, maybe 4 and 2, but I'm not going to do like a 5-1 or anything like that. I think it's going to be much closer than people think. And I'm very excited, actually. I'm just so excited football's back. I'm waiting on the final ownerships right now, which if you guys follow us on Twitter, I will be, I'm always there to answer your questions if you ask me ownership questions or what build I'm looking at, what news coming out. Dante will always be around to tell you his latest picks on the old sportsbook. We're going to be building all night, tomorrow night. We're going to be building all night. You guys can build with us. It's always a lot of fun. Which are you going for, the $1 million tournament, or which tournament you're looking to take?
You know, I'm going to start off a little smaller than that and use some of those winnings, potential hopeful winnings for the bigger tournament as the season goes along. But start off small, got to get back into the groove of things, especially for football. So, yeah. What about you, though? What do you kind of plans you got?
I'm going in. Full send, Dante. Full send.
That was a dumb question, I know. Oh yeah, by the way, Rob, we have gotten a viewer, by the way. We appreciate the support.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm sure the viewers laughing at you for not calling a timeout after running the ball multiple times.
Yeah, that was dumb. You're right.
Does that put me in field goal range?
I'm gonna be honest. I was looking at stats and stuff. I wasn't really paying attention, but I'm looking at
That's fair.
Just so everyone knows, I'm trying to make sure I have. It's hard to know what defenders are gonna be on what receiver of Kansas City, since they're gonna be moving people around so much. I'm assuming, like I said, Snead is going to see a lot of Amar St. Brown. I'm assuming Jalen Watson is going to see a lot of Josh Reynolds, maybe Clayton Raymond. I think Trent McDuffie is going to see a lot of Marvin Jones or probably Marvin Jones will probably be the one seeing Duffy the most, right?
That would make sense, but then again, I guess for Chiefs, let me kick the field goal. Hold up.
Because Marvin Jones, I'm assuming, is going to be playing a lot of on the left, right? Maybe not, because Duffy does play on the right more than he does on the left. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that pans out. Are you even interested in Marvin Jones or?
So I know he's coming back to the Lions, and I honestly think he retires with them.
Of course.
But as for what kind of an impact he's going to make, I'm not expecting much. And if he will make an impact at all this season, it'll be now for his first 6 weeks until Williams returns.
Now, obviously, the NFL is backing Detroit. They came on strong at the end of last year. I think they won 8 out of the last 10 games. Right? They came on strong. They're a very exciting team. Everyone loves the coach. Um, so some people think this is going to be a complete blowout, and the Chiefs are just going to wreck them. But obviously, the NFL believes in them. That's why they're on prime time. I actually think they're right. I think they should be on prime time. I think it's going to be an electric match. Jared Goff is not as bad as people think. When he was on the Rams, he had an electric showdown. What was it, Monday night? An amazing game against Kansas City.
Yeah, it was 2018, I believe, and that was the highest scoring Monday Night Football game of all time. And that was
Yeah.
probably the best Monday Night Football game of all time.
He knows how to play against the Chiefs. So I think it's definitely going to be a very high scoring fantasy matchup. For those, we didn't really talk about like leagues. Um, I would tell people if you do have Kelsey, get your backup plan ready. I really don't think he's playing. Um, I'm not. Don't pick up Gray. There's plenty of other options to go after. Um, oh.
Here's my take on it. If you're a Kelsey owner in fantasy, in any of your fantasy leagues, I know pretty much everybody watching this more than likely is a Kelsey owner in at least one fantasy league. If you're a Kelsey owner, I'd say just really monitor his status until literally like the last minute, like 10, 15 minutes before kickoff, because I still think they really try to make a play. It just comes down to how he feels prior to kickoff.
Oh no, that was the worst throw I ever did in my life.
So if you're a Kelsey owner, don't lose all hope just yet. Monitor status until kickoff, and obviously, if you hear anything sooner to where he's not going to play, then yeah, just probably start your backup tight end on your fantasy team for this week. Don't go picking up Gray, because obviously in fantasy you only have a certain amount of roster spots, and then you have to drop somebody. Now that risk losing them, and then Gray's only going to be fantasy relevant for the time Kelsey misses.
Now, when I was talking about Brock White, how he's 600 and you could afford anybody to pick him, he's been on the team. Are you on that, or are you not even looking at him at all? For GPP purposes. I'm not saying for like starting the leagues, but for GPP, you're going after $1 million.
He's a name to consider for sure, but I don't know. I'd personally still look elsewhere.
Are you looking at Laporta in this game?
I am looking at Laporta. Will I start him? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how the rest of my lineup goes. But Laporta is definitely somebody worth looking at because yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he was. I just lost my train of thought because that was a nice touchdown. But yeah, he's a rookie, and usually rookie tight ends don't make an impact in the NFL right away. But I have a feeling Laporta might be a different scenario in this case because the Lions made him the second tight end taken off the board. And I feel like that was for a reason. It's because they expect him to step up to be that tight end right away for them because they obviously needed a tight end badly after trading away Hawkinson. And yeah, I feel like Laporta will make an immediate impact right away. Maybe whether it'll be as immediate as week one, I would say no, but he's still worth looking at because I could be wrong. He really could.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Um, that touchdown was just by Ricky James. You're a Giants fan. You loved him. Is he going to make an impact this Thursday?
Now, Richie James is the kind of guy, because that's what he was with the Giants last year, too. He was a touchdown stealer. So Richie James could very well steal a touchdown. But then the thing is, though, if he doesn't, he's probably going to get like 2 catches in the game and probably have combined like 12 yards. So he's way too risky of a play for me, especially with all the other wide receivers the Chiefs have that they hope make an impact with or without Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to fade Richie James for week 1. But then if he does steal a touchdown and you actually take the chance on him, if he does steal a touchdown and you actually take the chance on him, he really could be a difference maker on how much money you end up winning too. So
It's true. It's
don't
very true.
completely rule him out. If you're feeling risky, definitely go for it. But I personally probably would more than likely not be starting him in my lineup. Or any
Gotcha.
of my lineups, I should say.
Are you going to be using any of the defenses?
No, because it is projected to be a high scoring game, so.
It didn't work either time I used it. You think the Philly special would have been a better move in this game?
Are you using the Eagles playbook?
No, this is work. I don't know why it's in there, but it's in there.
But yeah, no, I'm not using any of the defenses this week.
Oh no!
God dang it,
Oh
I
hell
had
yeah!
that and I lost that.
Not bad, Dante. I'm definitely not on my game today. This has been pretty bad for me.
Well, neither am I. I feel like I made a lot of dumb mistakes.
The new
It's
Madden,
hard talk. It's hard talking about fantasy sports and focusing on a Madden game at the same time.
um, I wasn't gonna go into the DFS this week and start putting money on tickets to try and win qualifiers and try and get tickets to the King of the Beach, but I'm going to. I'm just a sucker for that shit. So I'll definitely have 2 lineups in the million. A few in the qualifiers. I'm going low in. It's the start of football. I'm dropping so much money on it. I won a lot of money last year, so I'm just gonna cycle it and keep playing. Basketball helped me too. Basketball raised my bankroll. You really got to pay attention to your bankroll. You don't ever want to be depositing money. You just want to be using what you have in there and what you're winning. So you got to do those cash games too. Don't forget the cash games. Um, I'm feeling spicy. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that one play, $100 on the. You said Austin Brown and then who?
Kadarius Toney. I feel like both are going to catch a touchdown tomorrow or Thursday. I keep saying tomorrow, but Thursday. Well, technically it's tomorrow, but still Thursday.
I think I'm gonna have to do it. I think I'm gonna have to drop 100 on that. That's gonna make me like at least.
Yeah.
I gotta
You
look
do
at
you,
what the odds are gonna be after that. It's gonna be a couple thousand. And
and
I'm all
thank me
in.
when you win.
Oh, I will. Don't worry about that. Oh no! Tell me that was not right at your guy.
That was a good effort.
No, if I had like another second, maybe I would have threw that a little better. But your guy was right on my ass. What defense do you think is going to be better tomorrow? Are you going to play any defense in DFS?
What defense? You see, if Chris Jones is playing, I'd say the Chiefs. Without Chris Jones, that's a dump throw. Oh, that worked. All right, never mind.
I like how my defender just kind of like looked at the ball while it sailed past his head and into his guy's hands. That was a great Madden play.
What defense will be better? I might still say the Chiefs, only because I still expect I still think the Chiefs will win. But take that with a grain of salt, because neither defense is special. You know, the Chiefs' defense is already not special, and it's going to be even worse without Chris Jones. And the Lions' defense, yes, they made a couple of nice key additions. They drafted a couple of nice guys, have a couple of nice rookies on there. but and I think they do pan out eventually, but they're not going to pan out as soon as week 1 on prime time in Arrowhead. I guess defending Super Bowl champs. So
Now the Chiefs are known sometimes to get off to a slow start, and that's why I do like the putting the money on the spread on the Giants side. I mean on the Giants, on the Lions side. Oh, that guy's right open because I wasn't paying attention.
that was a bad throw decision.
So remember, on these showdowns, you sometimes all you need is like one player to have like 3 fantasy points, and that would be the difference of you winning and losing. So picking a defense can get you that. It can get you like 5, and that's all you need. So as long as you're getting sacks, those are points. You see a lot of sacks coming from like the Lions side.
That is a good point, and especially for this game, since it's projected to be a high-scoring game, it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. The defenses will be cheap, so that definitely is a good point. But then, if it is a high-scoring game as expected, then the defenses, neither of them, no matter how cheap they are, will not be to play, because they're probably not going to get enough sacks to make up for all the points they give up.
This is true, but they are.
Because
I think
Mahomes,
defenses will be low owned for sure.
Because Mahomes is a quarterback that doesn't get sacked much to begin with, because he's always moving around the pocket and everything, and the Chiefs are just not going to sack Goff as much, if at all, without Chris Jones.
Makes sense.
I did not see him there. But that's one of the rookies right there on the Lions defense that could make an impact this year, and I think will. Just will it be week 1? I don't know. He might be decent tomorrow, but
he might be. So here's the thing: this is Madden, but something we have to realize: you should always target the rookie defenders. That's always, especially against somebody like Mahomes. Target the rookie defender, and that will be the way to go. So if you can figure out which player the rookie defender is going to be on, that's probably going to be the way to go. And that's going to be the difference whether you're going to take home the $1 million or just the $2,000. So that's something we got to dig into, figure out where the rookie defenders are going to be, and then kind of figure out who he's going to line up with. Again, I'm still looking at MVS, so if anybody. Could be wrong. It could be very bad for me. He has burned me a lot. So I don't particularly think it's going to do well for me, but I got to try.
Yeah, no, MVS is an interesting candidate, but he's far too boomer bust for me, so.
Oh, I like my boomer bust. I like those. I'm a gambler.
That is what gambling essentially is,
Oh, what the hell? The hell was
if I
that?
had roll coin, I would have picked that off. But yeah, that is essentially what gambling is. It's boomer bust. You got to take risks, obviously, which you're not going to win. So I'm not saying you shouldn't start MVS at all. Obviously, take the risk, but I think there's better options.
All right, so far what we figured out tonight is
overran that, man.
I'm definitely putting in Brock White. He's locked in for me. Dante loves Amon St. Brown. I'm saying his name completely wrong because my accent, and I apologize. So that's 2 people in our lineups right there. I think me and Dante are on the same page, where maybe both quarterbacks will also be in our lineup, which can happen, especially with Brock White. And then we just have to figure out what our last player is going to be. Oh shit. I don't know if Dante's gonna follow me in the Brock White thing. I have a feeling he's gonna take him out and take out Jared Goff and go with his buddy Darius Tony, Sky Moore, Mahomes. Right? Does that sound more like what you're gonna probably plan on doing?
Yeah, I kind of do like the idea of starting Brock White just so I could afford both quarterbacks in my lineup. So that really isn't a bad idea. And who knows? Maybe as we've been saying, maybe Brock White does make a decent impact. Like if he's the kind of guy, if he scores, maybe he steals a touchdown. If he does, he's probably going to hit value right there. So
This is true. This is true. That's more than value if he gets a touchdown.
yeah.
That's what I like to see. I'm definitely gonna do a lineup now that we talked about it. You kind of talked me into doing like the four running backs. I think that'd be very interesting.
What?
Yeah, I think all four running backs. I have a feeling I'm like fading CEH, and he's just going to be like he's going to get like a bunch of targets, catch the balls, and get like a good 10 fantasy points, and just piss me off because that's what he does.
I don't know.
I can't look at him.
I'm really not high on CEH, but then I hope he does well. But will he? I don't know.
Stupid 2-1. I want this miserable game to end. I stopped belting out. I've been talking about it. I just want to belt lineups now. All right. Oh.
Viewers, I am glad that this Madden game is on stream and we're getting these results, because Rob always tries to claim he's a better Madden player, but obviously I can only refer to this video.
The last time we played, I beat him. So,
You did not.
And I think if you actually go back to last Christmas, right, when we actually did a Madden, I think I beat you on that one, didn't I?
Yeah, because I was talking some banger plays that night, so I was not focusing on Madden.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
I don't remember, actually, did you?
I don't remember. We have to go back and look.
You definitely did not beat me the last time we played this game.
Yeah, we are. I'm so excited to build these lineups now. I'm so excited to just hand you the ball every time. For being a make-or-break game, they really didn't fix this game well.
Yeah, this game definitely could have been better for a make-or-break game. I do agree. I mean, franchise is more fun this year because of all the trade slots now.
True.
As for gameplay-wise, it pretty much is the same as the last couple of years, which obviously is sad to say because the gameplay hasn't been great.
And then when are we going to put out the next video for the Sunday slate? I think maybe what? Friday night?
Yeah, you can probably expect to see that video up on Friday night for the previewing the Week 1 Sunday slate. DFS Rebels, we are back. We're ready for another great season after a great debut season last year. And yeah, we're ready to help you guys really fill those pockets this year.
That's cash games, guys. Cash games. Double ups, 50-50s. That's gonna keep your bankroll just going up, even if you're losing in GPPs. And that's really the trick to it. That's how the pros do it. Single entries, 3 max entries. That's how you do it. I know the big tournaments are sexy and you want to go for it, and you can, but just make sure you get all the other contests in there. Oh, shit. Not the onside kick, Dante.
Nice.
Oh, just hit that guy right in the face. Hit Campbell right in the face. All right. Thank you for joining us here at DFS Rebels.